These next stories were written in what, were I of imposing stature, I should call my second manner. The Diamond as Big as the Ritz, which appeared last summer in the Smart Set, was designed utterly for my own amusement. I was in that familiar mood characterized by a perfect craving for luxury, and the story began as an attempt to feed that craving on imaginary foods. One well-known critic has been pleased to like this extravaganza better than anything I have written. I personally prefer The Offshore Pirate. But to tamper slightly with Lincoln, if you like this sort of thing, this, possibly, is the sort of thing you'll like. The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. This story was inspired by a remark of Mark Twain's, to the effect that it was a pity that the best part of life came at the beginning, and the worst part at the end. By trying the experiment upon only one man in a perfectly normal world, I have scarcely given his idea a fair trial. Several weeks after completing it, I discovered an almost identical plot in Samuel Butler's Notebooks. The story was published in Collier's last summer, and provoked this startling letter from an anonymous admirer in Cincinnati. Sir, I have read the story Benjamin Button in Collier's, and I wish to say that as a short story writer you would make a good lunatic. I have seen many pieces of cheese in my life, but of all the pieces of cheese I have ever seen, you are the biggest piece. I hate to waste a piece of stationery on you, but I will. Tarquin of Cheapside. Written almost 6 years ago, this story is a product of undergraduate days at Princeton. Considerably revised, it was published in the Smart Set in 1921. At the time of its conception, I had but one idea: to be a poet. And the fact that I was interested in the ring of every phrase, that I dreaded the obvious in prose if not in plot, shows throughout. Probably the peculiar affection I feel for it depends more upon its age than any intrinsic merit. O Russet Witch. When this was written, I had just completed the first draft of my second novel, and a natural reaction made me revel in a story wherein none of the characters need be taken seriously. And I'm afraid that I was somewhat carried away by the feeling that there was no ordered scheme to which I must conform. After due consideration, however, I have decided to let it stand as it is, although the reader may find himself somewhat puzzled at the time element. I had best say that, however the years may have dealt with Merlin Granger, I myself was thinking always in the present. It was published in the Metropolitan. Unclassified Masterpieces. The Lees of Happiness. Of this story, I can say that it came to me in an irresistible form, crying to be written. It will be accused, perhaps, of being a mere piece of sentimentality, but, as I saw it, it was a great deal more. If, therefore, it lacks the ring of sincerity, or even of tragedy, the fault rests not with the theme, but with my handling of it. It appeared in the Chicago Tribune, and later obtained, I believe, the quadruple gold laurel leaf, or some such encomium from one of the anthologists who at present swarm among us. The gentleman I refer to runs, as a rule, to stark melodramas with the volcano, or the ghost of John Paul Jones in the role of Nemesis. Melodramas carefully disguised by early paragraphs in Jamesian manner, which hint dark and subtle complexities to follow. On this order, the case of Shaw McPhee, curiously enough, had no hearing on the almost incredible attitude of Martin Sulo. This is parenthetical and, to at least 3 observers whose names for the present I must conceal, it seems improbable, etc., 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 until the poor rat of fiction is